How old were you when you got diagnosed with diabetes?
I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 8 years old. So I've had it for almost 19 years.
My name is Becky. I was 11 years old when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I am 32.
And I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 9 years old. I've been dealing with it for 14 years now, and it has taken control over my life.
My name is Christine, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 5 years old. I'm 26 now, so I've had it for 21 years.
I found out I was a diabetic by having a routine physical done at my doctor's office when I was in 5th grade. He told me my blood sugar was high and that I needed to go to the emergency room, and I had to eat something before I went. When I got to the emergency room, my blood sugar was 630. Normal blood sugar ranges are between 80 and 150, so I was extremely high, and they had to start giving me insulin shots and get my blood sugars back under control.
I was on the insulin pump for about 12 years, but in the spring it broke, and instead of going back on a replacement insulin pump, I decided to take a little bit of a break, and that break has now lasted about over 6 months. So I'm still on injections, and it's going pretty well. I definitely miss some aspects of the insulin pump, but I also like not having to wear anything. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, there are pros and cons to both. But
It's an insulin pump. I was on injections for years, but I have been on the insulin pump for 7 years now.
And do you have a tube with your insulin pump?
I do. It's a mini bed. It's tubed, yeah.
I'm on an insulin pump called Omnipod, and it is one of the only insulin pumps out there that there's no tubing. I also use a Dexcom, which is a continuous glucose monitor, which tells me when my blood sugars are high, when they're low, and tells me like a broad range of where my sugars have been over the last 3 hours, which have helped me to control myself a lot better, and also it has got me to check my blood sugars more often.
I've been on both insulin injections and the pump. Right now I'm back on insulin injections. I'm waiting to see what the right next step is in terms of pumps. There's been a lot of research, so I want to make the right decision when I decide to go on a new one. When I was like 14, I had a really bad low blood sugar, and I was totally out of it. I didn't know where I was, who I was, what I was doing. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything like that, but I was like shoving sugar down my throat. It was pretty scary because I don't even remember it. I blacked out kind of. So that was the worst.
I've had low blood sugars where the paramedics have had been called and they shoved juice down my throat to bring my blood sugar levels up. I've also, when I was in college, when I first started off in college, I was partying a lot and my blood sugars were really high for a long time. And because of that, I started getting nauseous, I started vomiting. Anytime I would take a sip of water, it would go right through me and it would come right back up. So I had to go to the ER for that, where they dehydrated me again because I was extremely dehydrated from high blood sugars, and they pumped me with insulin and got my sugar levels back down, and then I was able to just take control from there.
In my years with diabetes, like I said, I have had an okay time. I haven't had too many drastic lows or drastic highs that I have suffered any kind of seizures or serious illness. Definitely with the highs though, you do get very, very nauseous. Had a couple of times where I was vomiting, but took some insulin and took care of it. So I'm very blessed that I haven't had some of the other issues and experiences that some other diabetics face with highs and lows.
I definitely tell people that I have diabetes. I think that it's the safest way for me to live my life. I'm around people all the time, and if I ever had low blood sugar that, you know, made me go unconscious, or if I was high and I was sick and I needed someone to help me, I don't want people to be shocked and surprised and confused that, you know, there's something going on during an emergency. I want them to be educated ahead of time that I have diabetes so that they know what to do and, you know, are kind of aware of the situation.
Everybody that knows me knows I'm diabetic. I have it tattooed right on my wrist as a reminder, just in case anything was to happen. I am very, very sociable about it as well. I do diabetes walk every year, and I've gotten into the diabetic community